Hey guys, the MC Rod here, coming at you with the Infernoble combo guide that I mentioned about in my deck profile that I'd be doing. In this video, I'm basically going to be going over the easiest and the most linear combos, just to get people started, as well as showing off some free-form combos that I had with some test hands that I opened in Dueling Book. The deck can be really flexible, in terms of what it wants to end on. While it is a VFD deck, you don't even need to summon it sometimes. The boards you can just put up are so oppressive that you can just win through those. So yeah, this is the first combo that is there. It's the easiest one-card combo that ends on the most simple board that you can do, which is VFD plus Herald. So you'll see here that the first thing I obviously do is connector, get Dolphin. At that point you would look at their hand with the Dolphin discard, but I'm just playing with connector at this point. We go Isolde to get the Phoenix, to get the Gearfried, mill 2, summon Gemba, go into the Needle Fiber, get the Despot. Again, we're only doing really simple stuff. Auroradon, which gets us our 3 tokens, and brings back the Despot from our graveyard. We'll use those plus 2 of the level 3s to make Power Tool, which will search us DDR by revealing 3 of the same copy, because we can do that. Tribute to summon the Coltwing, get 2 more tokens, and bring back the Despot. Now here you get to see the reason we play Balmung. Because it's able to be a reborn effect for our Coltwing, which isn't a once per turn. So yeah, we'll go with banishing the Gemba and Dolphin. I like banishing the Dolphin simply because if you open a second DDR at the end of your combo, you can take another card from your opponent. But Gemba, we need the level 2 tuner to be able to go into the level 3 token and summon Roland. Here we'll activate Roland to mill and add in the end phase. Go into Charles. Now typically we would always be making Charles near the end of our combo when Smoke Grenade was legal. However, with this, we're now using the destruction effect to destroy the Balmung. So we'll Phoenix Blade, banishing 2 more. Again, I typically like to keep Gemba in the banished because we just always have level 2 tuner that way. So then we'll equip Phoenix Blade to the Balmung, and then we'll activate Charles to destroy Balmung. That puts Phoenix Blade back in our graveyard, as well as reborning the Coltwing off of Balmung, being able to reborn any level 4 or lower. This will get us 2 tokens again and bring back the Despot, at which point we can synchro that and a token into our Herald, banish the Auroradon, the Coltwing, and the token for Trish, overlay those into VFD. During end phase, we'll mill a Durandal and add back Renault. That's just a really, really simple one-card combo that gets you to your minimum end board. This way we have a blanket stop on all monsters, and if they try and interrupt it, we do have a negate. Which, sometimes this can just be enough against a lot of decks, just stopping all monsters. But sometimes people get lucky, unfortunately, with cards like Droplets and that. So yeah, on to the second combo. So here's the second combo I want to show off. This is a 2-card combo that guarantees a Gearfried at the end of your board as well. So we'll go Null Summon Ogier, and we'll Foolish Burial the Gearfried. Then we'll summon the Renard, which will then add back the Gearfried. Now from here we just do our standard combo. So we go Isolde, add Red Layer this time because we've already got access to Gearfried. Mill 2, Gemba, Needle Fiber, get Despot, go into Auroradon, get our 3 tokens, bring back the Despot, go into Power Tool, get our DDR. Brings back the Coltwing from the deck, Despot into Balmung, same again. Again, keeping the Gemba in our banish just to keep it there. At this point we go into our Herald, into our VFD, summon the Gearfried. End phase we mill with Roland, and we equip the Captain Roland as well as the Ogier, that way this can't be destroyed. So it's really nice because it's a much more flexible board to be able to play through. Just adding the monster negate as well can get around things like Gamma without needing to go through Herald. As well, it's just really awkward to try and run over the Gearfried because the first thing we do is we'll negate and throwing Roland into our graveyard. This way, if we did leave this in attack position, for whatever reason, you could, as a quick effect, if you think they're going to try and run over it, just put this back on and it's just going to gain an extra 500 to stop that. So yeah, that's the second combo. This is again is just showing another. This is just showing a 2-card combo of how to get the extra Gearfried. So now moving on to the third combo. This I just wanted to start doing test hands and just showing sort of what people are able to do in a way that works depending on what the hand is, because it's extremely flexible. So here you'll see I'll open a DDR and a Durandal. Opening a DDR is not the end of the world because we've already got one guaranteed. So here we can, eventually when we get to our power tool, we can make a choice of do we want a second DDR or do we prefer a living fossil. So here you'll see me normal summon the Ogier, and because I've already got a Phoenix, I'm going to send Oliver. This way, if we do add Living Fossil, we still have access to a level 4 tuner that we might need later on. I'll Durandal, add the Renard. That way, when I special this, I have the Oliver to be able to play through more hand traps. This is just extremely flexible. Giving the tuner is just great. So now here I'll go through the normal combo of just adding red layer, milling 2 to summon the Gamba, going through Needle Fiber, getting a Despot, get the Auroradon plus the 3 tokens, bringing back the Despot, go into Power Tool, and you'll see here I reveal one of each. That way it's a lot harder for our opponent to tell what we might have opened. If we'd got the Living Fossil, it wouldn't have mattered. If we got the DDR, it wouldn't have mattered. If we got the Durandal, it wouldn't have mattered. The Durandal here is nice because we'll be using this over Phoenix Blade to keep warriors in our graveyard. So yeah, you'll see we'll tribute here, summon the Cult Wing, get the 2 tokens, and then reborn the Despot. We'll go into our Balmon, banish 2, get back the Phoenix Blade. Now here, I banish the Plague Spreader because in my head later on, I know I can use this to end on another Synchro. Synchro 9 with using this Cult Wing. So I'll reborn the Gamba, turn nose into Roland, activate the Roland effect to mill and add in the end phase, equip, and then here I'll just activate Durandal. This keeps Phoenix Blade in our hand for this Gearfried more than anything else. We'll use that to destroy the Balmung, bring back the Cult Wing, and then summon the Despot. Turn those into a Herald. Now here, I Plague Spreader putting back the red layer. This is because what I can do is, because Cult Wing is a level 7 because it has a token on the field, we can turn that into a Shen Shen. This way we have no monsters hitting graveyards, as well as spells and traps going to the graveyard as well. This can be insane versus some of the decks. Just not being able to add back from grave with cards like Nadir Servant is relevant sometimes. Scarlet Sanguine is relevant. Chakanine for Zodiac. There's just a lot of effects that suddenly get a little bit worse in a grind game because of the Shen Shen and the Herald banishing everything. So then here we're going to banish the DDR, summon the Gearfried, equip the Phoenix Blade to the Gearfried, and then during the end phase, we mill Durandal, add Renard. I did miss the Ogier equip here, which was a slight misplay. However, because we've ended on Charles as well instead of going into VFD, what we end up having is a monster negate, a macrocosmos, a dimension fissure plus a negate, as well as a pop during our opponent's turn. If for whatever reason they actually do manage to out the Charles, we're also going to get Durandal to reborn one of our Fire Warriors, which we can bring back the Ogier to then mill another card, or we can bring back the Roland just to be able to sit there as a 2k body that can just help. So yeah, this board adds a lot of interaction compared to normal. Unlike VFD just saying no to your opponent, there is always chances that you can lose because of that if they hit it with a Gamma. Whereas this, I feel like, is doing a lot. Not only that, but when we attack, we also get to put one of our monsters back in our graveyard because of the Shenshen, which is great for recycling these Plague Spreaders. Just being able to use this multiple times during a duel alongside our Nightmares, plus Access Code, is just going to help with our follow-up for the next time. So this is the fourth combo I wanted to play through, just to show again how much more flexible it is. And you'll see here we've opened Cultling, Plague, and the Gamba. Fortunately, we have opened Connector, so we do have our one card Isolde, but now you'll see how we have to freestyle through our combos, because you do end up opening hands of Cultling with Gamba. It does happen, as you can see. I didn't set this up in any way, I just drew the hand. But you'll get to see here that because of the knowledge that we know what we can end on, we're going to start with Connector into Dolphin. And we'll go Dolphin, discard this Plague. It's in our graveyard, that way we have it for later on in the turn. We'll go into Isolde, and then we will just mill one here. So I'll add the red layer, and then we'll mill one, milling the Phoenix Blade. That way we can still banish our Gamba when it gets round to it. Here I'm going to summon Fireflint Lady, and then use the second effect of Fireflint Lady to send her to the grave and summon Gamba from our hand. So now from here we do just get to do our normal combo, but we still have to get this Cultling back into our deck. So the way we're going to do that is we'll do this normal thing of Despot into Auroradon. We'll get our 3 tokens, we'll bring back the Despot, and we'll go into Power Tool. So now here I'm just going to add our 3 DDR, add one of them to our hand, and then I'm going to banish 2 to put Phoenix Blade. Now this makes our opponent choose here, because they think we're just going to DDR back this Gamba at this point, if we need it. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to Plague Spreader from our graveyard. This way, if they end up hitting a Ghost Spell on the Plague Spreader, well, that's fine, because at that point it starts eating into other cards in our hand, which we don't really want to do. Whereas doing Phoenix Blade, it's cost to banish and then to add back. So no matter what, in this situation we have a level 2 tuner, no matter which situation we put under. So here I'll bring back the red layer by putting the Cultling back on top. Then I'll tribute these two to summon the Cultling, get the 2 tokens, and then bring back the Despot. Here, now we can just do our normal combo of going into Balmung, using the 2 from the Plague Spreader and the token into Roland, and then go into our Charles. We're going to equip this here, bring back our 2 tokens, go into Herald. Now here's a fun interaction we get to do. Because of the fact we already have monsters banished, and because of Herald, we can discard our red layer, which gets banished because of Herald, to then just bring back the Plague Spreader. So now here I'll go back into Shenshen, again, and then summon the Gearfried. Now this, at this point, is a really nice board, because what we get to do is we have Roland to equip to Gearfried, if we want, which is also going to trigger the pop with Charles. And then, because of that, once we do that, we can also turn on our Gearfried if for some reason our Phoenix Blade doesn't need to be used. So yeah, this just adds a lot of layers of interaction again. And it's also showing that we can do these boards without needing to go into VFD. This final hand I'm going to show you is actually a going second combo. Again, I just drew this hand, didn't do anything, so luckily we've opened up Dark Ruler here. So, providing our opponent sets up somewhat of a board, we can still play through it. While we might not be able to kill, it is a case of we do get to play. Now, you do have two choices with hands like this, is you can Dark Rule it into your standard combo. However, the only thing with that is you don't guarantee a kill. You're only really guaranteeing them not being able to play, but it's giving them another turn. So you can either go with the standard combos like before, going into VFD, going into Harold, going into Charles. But personally, with this hand that we've opened, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pretend that we're able to kill our opponent with whatever we're able to do. So we're going to be going into Ogier, which will send the Gearfried. Renault will unback the Gearfried. And again, all I'm trying to do here is kill our opponent. So we're going to go into the Isolde. Isolde is going to mill. It's going to add the red layer, and then it's going to mill one. So then the same thing as before, Fireflint to get the Gembra out of our hand. There's no real reason to do this, besides getting access to Needle Fiber, because we're going to go Needle Fiber. Now, typically, again, like I said, you can either go into the desk spot and just do your normal combo, but here what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to summon the Plague Spreader. The reason for this being is, again, we're just going to be killing our opponent, so we need the extra cards. So I'm going to be going into Unicorn here, and discarding the red layer. This shuffles back a card. Again, it's great just for getting through a board. Then we're going to put this second heritage back to summon the Plague Spreader back. This puts the second body on field for our access code, which is going to gain 3,000 because we're using it as Unicorn. We're going to banish the Phoenix Blade because we don't need it. Again, we're not attempting to go into a grind game, but also if we draw another Renault, because we're not shuffling here, we're guaranteed to draw our Heritage of the Chalice. We're just going to equip the Ogier to Gearfried, that way we do still have a monster negate. And from that, we've got a access code which can destroy 3 cards on the field, as well as a 3,000 attack Gearfried and a 5/3 access code. So here it makes it very quick for an easy kill. Again, if we do happen to not be able to kill because we've used this Dark Ruler, at this point we are able to at least establish one negate for our opponent, as well as setting up resources for the turn after. Because what we're able to do is, when it comes back to our turn, we'll redraw the heritage we put back with the Plague Spreader, at which point we can search Renault. Renault can get back this Phoenix Blade, which can be equipped to the Gearfried, so on and so on. We just get to keep pushing for damage at that point. So, yeah, I hope this has been somewhat informative for people being able to play the deck, and showing that even if you do open some combo pieces that you need in the deck, you can still combo with things. As well as hopefully showing that it is nice being able to play this deck even without needing to make VFD, as you saw with some of the earlier combos as well. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you next time, where I might have a surprise for you guys with my next deck profile. So yeah, I'll catch you later.